Hello, welcome to Digital Learning. I'm Connie Kolosey, Director of Media Text and Digital Learning. And for our show today, we are going to be talking about our recent visit to the FETC, Future Educators Technology Conference. Did I get that right?
You did.
And I have with me Sarah Truelson, who is a project coordinator in the Department of Digital Learning and a regular guest here on this show. And so Sarah, we just recently went to FETC.
We did. It was great, just like it is every year. Learned lots and lots.
So you're an old pro, and I know that I relied a lot on you, like, okay, where are we going now? And just briefly, give a quick overview of some of the things that we saw there.
We saw all sorts of things. We were able to visit the expo hall and visit with a lot of the vendors that provide equipment and software for us in our schools. So we met with Smart and Epson, and we got to see all of the kind of cool new tools that are out there, all the neat robots that are available for the schools and for our various STEM projects that we have going on. And we were able to go and see some great sessions and see what other educators who are kind of like-minded and they're thinking about integrating technology are doing and in different districts around Florida and around the world.
I had the opportunity to hear a superintendent from California speak on some exciting things they were doing in their district, and so there really wouldn't be another format for me to experience that. So Exactly. It really is a great platform for that.
One of the kind of cool things that's happening now is that books are kind of being taken to a different place. So you don't have to just have that physical copy of a book or go to a library necessarily to get one. If you have an iPad or a Kindle Fire or even just your phone, you can use different apps and you can get books right on them. So, you know, instead of having to find your favorite Harry Potter book at the library and them not having it, you can just check it out or get it from Amazon. So we're, as a district, taking advantage of that since that's where our students and kids are.
So we talked with Mackin, we talked with Overdrive. I met with our Mayan people while we were there. And so let's hear a little bit what they have to say about their products.
Mackin is a distributor, and we actually work with thousands of publishers to provide content to all the schools K-12 around the world. We also have lots of different types of services, so we work with makerspace products. We have a Mackin Via platform, which is our digital platform for accessing any digital content. It's completely open. It can be actually edited and changed at each individual school and customized. We also sell print books. So we do a lot of different things at Mackin, and we try and provide this service for our customers where they can get everything in one place. Pinellas County Schools is one of our partners with Mackin Via. They provide, at the district level, they provide access to all of the schools for ebooks. And they do a lot of summer reading programs with Mackin Via in the summer and provide all of the state award winners and popular fiction books through Mackin Via. We love Pinellas County. They are amazing partners with Mackin. We've been working with them for about 4 years, maybe 5. And Laura Woods and Jim Bentz are actually one of our key people, and they actually have been working really well with us throughout the past 5 years.
Again, we're a digital content provider. We can provide digital content in terms of ebooks, library books, novel sets, textbooks, magazines, video streaming, audiobooks, the whole 9 yards, all in one easy 24/7 accessible portal. One username, one password where you can come in and access your materials and use them. All schools have come on board to use the service, and they have a collection that is shared at the county level, as well as each individual school has their own individual collections as well. Overdrive's been in business since the mid-1980s, and we are the leading provider of digital content worldwide. A lot of folks know us from the public library. If you go to the public library and you read an ebook, then you know it's going to be usually an Overdrive system. So we started Overdrive Education as the schools wanted their own platforms, and because the schools are going to need focus materials for the school, where the public library may have 1 or 2 copies of everything, your focus content can get you exactly just what you need at the school level. So you might need, let's say, 15 copies of The Giver, where the public library might only have 1 copy of The Giver. It's stable, it works, and we have a huge relationship with publishers. So because of our public library relationship, we have over 5,000 publishers millions of titles, and the two things that are going to make this work in a school district is you have to have enough content. If somebody's going to go to the system and not find the content that they're looking for, they're never going to come back and use it again. The other part, again, is the stability. It has to be a system that works. If they get frustrated with the back and forward button, if it doesn't work, then they're probably never going to go back. They're going to run to Google or something. So if you want to get the investment that you're getting out of your digital content, you want a system that works and is usable, because the teachers are working hard already. The last thing they want to do is have to fight the technology and looking for materials. We want it to be able to find the book, read the book. We are specifically K-12 at Overdrive Education, and we have a variety of different kinds of content to go along with that. So, for instance, the video streaming, textbooks, all the other things that go along can again be in that one portal. Our materials are device agnostic, we call it, so anything that has a browser, it can be read or listened to if you're buying audiobooks, or viewed if you're viewing videos, that type of thing.
The information that Jim and Scott both had offered really explains to people how important it is for us to use ebooks and how easy it is through Overdrive. We do use other avenues besides Overdrive, but all the avenues give our students and our staff and teachers and families in the district more of an opportunity to have some diversity and some choice when they're looking for ebooks. The biggest advantage is they can't lose the book, they can't destroy the book. The books, when they come back into the system, automatically disappear off of whatever device they're using, which makes it much more cost effective for us, so we're not always replacing books that have to be found or lost if they've been lost or damaged.
Okay, so Overdrive and Mac and Via, these are both products that are available through our library media resources. So if kids would like to check out an ebook, how do they do that?
They can talk to their media specialist, and every student has an account that they can log into using their district credentials, which is nice and easy, and there are apps they can download on their iPads at home as well.
So on the library media tab on their website, Destiny is there, and it'll take them out to all of these digital resources that they have.
Absolutely.
So another type of digital resource that is available through that same outlet, through Destiny, is Gale. And Gale is an unbelievable library of research materials. And so let's hear a little bit from Gale.
We provide authoritative digital nonfiction content to support both inside and out classroom instruction and support student research. Currently, we provide Pinellas County with many products, one being Global Issues and Context, which directly comes from Gale, supplied to all schools, staff, and students of Pinellas County. And we also provide a plethora of resources through the Florida Electronic Library, ranging from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. I think a differentiator with Gale is we actually curate the content. This is a place where students can go for safe, reliable content other than going out to the open web trying to find their own resources. We keep it within the platform and within the school districts to provide these students and teachers content so they don't have to spend their time outside on the open web. In addition to that, we also provide collaborative tools that can really help in instruction and support student research, including such things as highlights, notes, translations, read, speak, and one of our newest and exciting features, a seamless pathway to either Google Drive or Classroom, and also Microsoft OneDrive.
So as Tammy mentioned, we are able to link directly with Gale to our Microsoft OneDrive applications, which really just, the use of those has really started to mushroom in this district, and teachers and students are going to be continuing to learn a lot more about how to use Class Notebook and OneDrive, and so we're excited for these vendors to begin to make partnerships that help our teachers and students.
Exactly. I think of those research papers all of our juniors and seniors have to write in English, and what a great resource this is for them. And once we can get it working with our OneDrive system, it's just a seamless thing for them to do.
It is. So and that's why it's so exciting to work in our department, because everything is new.
Exactly.
Always. So we did another big initiative in our department is working with various interactive technologies for the teachers and students to project and then be able to interact with whatever it is that they're projecting, and there's all kinds of resources that they do that. So we're starting with the hardware, and then we move to the professional development. So you know, this past year we've primarily been working in elementary schools, and next year we're moving on to the middle and high schools, and we've been working a lot with the Epson interactive projectors. And so we had a chance to see what was new with Epson.
Okay, so we have 4 new models. Okay. They're all ultra short throw, which means that they can be very close to the projection surface. So when you stand there as an administrator or a teacher and you're in front of the classroom, you're not casting a shadow and blocking your image. So that's what ultra short throw is. Okay. So the new 600 series, so we have 4 new models, 3 of which are touch enabled. Prior, on our previous version, the 500 series, we only had 1 touch, but we understand, you know, we see that the need for touch is great, the desire for that. So we have 3 new touch models. And so basically the step up between, there's a 685, 695, 696, and 697. Okay. And the step up is from the 685 to the 695 is one is pen only, and the 695 is pen and finger touch. Okay. And then to go to the 696, that becomes full HD. It's WUXGA resolution, 1920 by 1280. Nice. So it's really great image quality. Great. Yeah, that sounds a really nice picture, I'm sure. Yeah, and so all of the Brightlinks that do pen and finger, they'll support 2 pens simultaneously and up to 6 points of touch. And also we do, we support networking, right? So you can have a wired network or a wireless network. You put your projector on the network and it unlocks a bunch of features that you wouldn't otherwise have. You could have the ability to have student devices connect to the projector. We can allow up to 50 devices to have a connection to the projector at one time. And that's with an iPad, a Chromebook, an Android device, a PC, or a Macintosh. And then using a piece of software we have called Epson Moderator software, the teacher can select from those 50 connected devices whose content that he or she would display at that time. And you can actually display up to 4 different images simultaneously. And those can come, it could go across platforms. So it could be from a Chromebook, an Android, or an iPad. And then another cool feature on the 600 series, that this doesn't exist on our 500 series, but only on the 600 series, is if you have an image up on the screen, the teacher can actually push that image out to the student devices. So let's say the teacher had a math exercise and had math problems. So you can push that out to all the connected devices. The students can use the annotation pen, inking tools within iProjection. They can answer the problems and send them back to the projector. And then again, the teacher would see a list of everyone who's answered the questions, and they can select and show whose work, you know.
That's very, very cool.
And that's free. It's just a feature of the projector, so there's nothing more to purchase.
So what do they need to be able? They need some kind of annotation, like a digital inking. Could they just?
iProjection, our app, has inking tools built into it. So as long as you're connected with iProjection, you can grab the inking tool and write on the content and send it back to the projector.
That's fantastic.
The gentleman was talking to us about this, the ability to mirror what the students are doing, project out to devices that the students are holding, project back to the computer. There are actually multiple technologies now that are helping us do that. And what we're trying to work on is deciding which one.
Exactly. That's always the trick, which is going to be the smoothest for everybody and the most economical. So it's a challenge.
And so, you know, we've been installing these Epson interactive projectors for a bit now. Why are they favored by the warehouse, the construction people,
Exactly.
the classroom teachers? What's good about them?
The nice thing about them, with our traditional smart boards, you have to take down the pre-existing whiteboard. So that, you know, plain dry erase board that the teachers have and love, you have to take it down to put the smart board up. With the Epson Interactives, you can actually take it and install it right above the traditional dry erase board, or really any flat surface that's painted white. And it has a little box that goes underneath the little bulletin board strip so that it puts a laser curtain down on the board so that then that dry erase board also becomes an interactive board. And teachers like that because then they have the space for whatever reasons they want it. I love technology, but it's not always the best answer for everything that you're going to do. So it's nice because it gives them that flexibility that is a little harder with a traditional smart board or even an interactive flat panel that you might put up on a wall.
So we mentioned a bit ago about our partnership with Microsoft, and they are just mushrooming into the educational platform. And so many tools that are available to teachers and students right now. Access, all they need to do is log into their Office 365 account. And so we have our buddy, Carlos from Microsoft, going to share a little bit here.
Yesterday we made a huge announcement, and this is a partnership with some of our OEMs like HP, Lenovo, and Acer. And we have now some low-cost devices that are under $300, in some cases under $200, that have touch, pen, and these are just incredible student devices, and it's going to definitely go and make a large impact with students. We're huge fans of digital inking, so especially in the areas of math and sciences, and this is something that people don't realize. We start seeing huge learning gains between 9 to up to 38% in terms of when you ink. So this is something that Microsoft has gotten firmly behind. We've partnered up with our OEMs, and they're all using digital ink as well. So that idea of a stylus and devices is something that's really important to us and our students. You're doing all the right things. You're using Sway, you're using Office 365, you're using some of our tools like Forms. I want you to think of a tool now, Microsoft Classroom, that puts everything together, and it's like that one hub for that teacher experience, that student experience, that just simplifies things. So we are really excited about Classroom. There's also another side to Classroom, which is School Data Sync. School Data Sync basically ties into Classroom, where now that teacher in the beginning of the year has all of their student information. There's no more manual entry. They just show up to class and everything's there. So we're very excited about Classroom. So your assignments, your homework, it's your calendar, your notifications. You can have communication back and forth with your students. And what I really love is school districts like yourself. I mean, you guys have really put a strong emphasis on OneNote and Class Notebook. So Class Notebook is fully integrated into Classroom. So there's seamless flow back and forth.
When we look at all this stuff, it can be a little bit overwhelming, and I know that you and your team have been doing a lot of work to help schools. Tell us a little bit about the work that you've done so far with schools and what's available to help schools.
Exactly. We kind of started out with training administrators, so we had lots of different trainings for them at the beginning because we really feel like if you can get that school leadership tied in and understanding how to use it and then using it with their staff, teachers will be more comfortable integrating it in with their classrooms. So we started with that, and then we are going around to the schools, and the 4 coordinators that work in our office are doing trainings. They're doing whole faculty trainings. They're going in side by side with teachers and helping them to plan, or doing model lessons with the different resources available within Office 365. We've also designed some online courses as well. And Microsoft itself has a plethora of resources out there for teachers who are wanting to learn more about using those tools, but even better, integrating them into their content in their classroom. So there's just so much backup for them to help them with using all these great things.
So we're going to be doing some summer training.
Yes.
So they need to keep an eye out for those opportunities this summer. In addition, they can go on PLN right now, and we have
yes.
an online course.
We do. We have 2. We have an overview for O365, and we have one integrating OneNote into your classroom as well. So.
All right. So there were also some vendors there working on some of the other products that we use. So some of the schools this year have gotten the new smart flat screen TVs. So we have a gentleman showing us that here. Let's see what that's about.
Sure. So actually one of my favorite features that differentiates Smart from a lot of other panels out there is what's called Pen ID. So of course we could both write on time. So I'm going to give you a pen and that's your icon. And then I have my pen with my icon. So we can write and do whatever we want. I'm red, you're black. Pretty simple. But what if I want to become green? So I'm going to change to a green pen. What does that do to your pen? Nothing. So we're two different students doing things independent of each other. So maybe I'm highlighting words in red that we don't know on an article, and you're highlighting words we do know in green on an article. So it's, whatever we want to use, we're independent of each other, and that's called Pen ID. And that's our hardware on the 6000 or above series. If I just kind of switch my page here, through the software, it's really easy, quick to make lab activities for gamification styles. And this is awesome. This is a sorting one. My students would come out and do all their jazz. But if I just share this out to students, or I start it, I'm going to start as a new activity, this device right here is that now pushed out to the student where they're just on a web link and they can interact on their own. So with the software, this is one of the numerous features that pushes whatever I'm doing on the board straight to a student on their device.
And this can be any device because
exactly.
it's web-based.
It's a web link.
Any device in front of the students, they can utilize this. Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Some of these apps will collect data and assessment on the students. Some of them are just for review and playing, things like that. But this is just, like I said, one of the many features that get that device straight to the student's hands, or that game to the student's hands.
So not only did we get a chance to talk to a lot of vendors, you had the opportunity to stop in and really hear a full presentation from a couple of our vendors, and then as well as practitioners. So let's take a look at some of those sessions as well.
Well, the big focus of the session that I was in was on personalization versus customization, and what type of learning we should be targeting for students. And the presenter made an interesting point that personalization is something that just kind of happens. So, if we need the water to be warm, that's the temperature we always like, it just automatically happens. If a student needs a certain thing, it just automatically happens. Versus customization, where the student has to go in and make some choices, and they have to explicitly make decisions about what they're doing. And so it was rather interesting. I hadn't really thought about it that way before, that as much as we're looking at personalization and learning for students, maybe we should be looking at kind of that other concept of customizing their experience with their input, and them really asking us things, not just maybe taking a test that automatically puts them where they need to be, but actually asking them, what are your interests? What types of things do you want to do? So they can customize it to what they want.
I use Nearpod to enhance my lessons. Usually virtual field trips are the biggest thing I do with the kids. They are great for also fractions. I have done fact and fiction and opinion writing. I've used it across the curriculum. I love the fact that they've got a new feature, the wall feature, where people can post, the students can post things and we can actually see them and share ideas. The collaborative board is what it's called. I learned about it through a webinar over the summer. It is a great tool to enhance and engage students for your teaching.
So Sarah, we were able to take our entire team and kind of fan out and collect ideas, and because no person can be everywhere. This place is huge.
It is gigantic.
And so we just kind of did a little recap to have each of our team members say what stuck out to them.
I saw so many things, a lot of great ideas with the new technology, new software. Had an opportunity to check out a session on gaming. Yeah, and it was pretty good, actually turning a classroom into a gaming system where student earns points, badges, as though they were immersed within a game. So that was really fun.
So you need some kind of special technology to do that?
Well, there are some things that are available, websites that are free for teachers. I believe it was called gamelab.com that they can go to, and a lot of extra time.
We have been all over the exhibit hall, but I came for several pieces of information and I found the big one, which is additional kind of video streaming that we might be able to use in our district. After Corrine talks to the folks and sees if this is something we could try, a little bit less expensive and more doable. No hardware, just, so we'll see.
Well, that's the point of coming over here, is so that we can see what's new and greatest. And one thing about technology, it travels at the speed of light. So,
yes,
all right.
It does.
See, I know your head is spinning because mine is, but can you pick something in particular to tell me about?
I can. So I have been here since Tuesday, and we went to the FETC conference.
Right.
And there's been so much talk about personalization. And so I've kind of gone to lots of different sessions on making sure that our kids are kind of being, all their needs are being met and things are personal for them.
All right, and you have any better idea how to make that happen?
A little bit. I went to one session where the principal was talking about some different tools that you can use to kind of pinpoint what are the areas that the students need remediation in or extra help in. And there were a couple of math tools that he used and a couple different quizzes and formative assessment tools that he was sharing with us that we could kind of take back and try with our teachers too.
What did you see today that was really stuck out in your memory?
Well, I actually tried to stay focused on a couple different things, and I wrote down a quote that kind of followed me through the day, and it was, when we measure seat time, we're measuring the wrong end of the learner. So I kind of spent time looking for...
Okay, hold on. When we measure seat time, we're measuring the wrong end of the learner.
Exactly.
Ouch. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, I didn't mean it in a bad way, but I kind of took it from there and went to the creation kind of things.
Yeah.
What can we do to get the kids thinking and thinking critically and actually creating and showing what they have learned with their knowledge. So I went to a tilt brush was part of one of the presentation. It was an art. The kids have a virtual reality on and they're painting in 3D around themselves. I wanted to do it right then and there. I went to Nearpod activities that has the VR resources in there, and Discovery Ed has some VR resources inside there. The Brain Pop actually is starting to have some in there too, so a lot of the virtual reality is coming out for the kids to be able to create and show what they learn, not just being in their seats, they're actually creating and making something.
It's going to be a lot of fun to bring this back to the district and make this happen with our kids.
And it's good to have so many people from the district here that have seen and get to experience it too and can help spread the word a little bit.
Tell me something you saw.
I saw so many things. One thing that's kind of sticking out right now just recently is Discovery Education, which is a digital textbook. And I think it's really awesome because there's so many features that, additional better things about a digital textbook than a print. So many exciting things. So students can actually be on their digital textbook with Discovery Education, and they can change their own reading level within the same textbook, just one click of a button. They can also it can be read out loud to the student. They can change the language. So for the language, multiple languages, they can do that. But the coolest thing that we heard from one of the keynote speakers with Discovery Education is, so the student will have a math problem to answer, and they can, because it's online, because it's in the cloud, they can have current data involved in that problem. So for example, let's say the student is an NBA fan. They can be solving a math problem and it will have the score in last night's game. And they can use those current NBA stats to solve that math problem.
Hey, that's what the kids are talking about anyway. We can't make them be quiet, so why not capitalize on it, right?
I think that what could be more engaging than that? So I just thought that was awesome.
So we
the power of the cloud.
We value who they really are and what they want. All right, so we had a big few days in Orlando at the FETC conference and learned lots of things that we're going to be busy processing. We're following up with the vendors that we spoke with and looking forward to some new and exciting things for the 17-18 school year. Thanks for being here today to help me share all this, and thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on Digital Learning.